folks, welcome back to the Mistakes Were Made Dinocast. I am your host, Chris Barlick. It's been a few weeks. Things have been busy. We just got through Otakon, which was awesome and amazing, and I'm just alone, and I'm grunting and shooting down things. Mainly iron tactical helicopters. And toy soldiers, Cold War, which was definitely... how did that not happen? Definitely one of the best strategy games of recent years. Just absolutely fun game. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just it's fun. It's silly. It's stupid. It's the whole smorgasbord. And I feel like I'm. Let's see. All right, get him. Yes, get that plastic Russian. Oh boy. So, just kind of goofing around with it. I'm downloading a lot of heavy stuff in the background right now, including Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, which the amazing Richard Velasquez pointed out to me as incredibly fun, and I want to kind of get on that and just futz around with it. He said it's sort of a worthy successor to Left 4 Dead. And, you know, I think it broke a lot of hearts when Valve decided not to do a third Left 4 Dead game. I think people would have absolutely eaten that up, and I think they could have brought a lot to it. I don't see it as entirely lost, though, because Valve has always been tremendously supportive of the mod community. And Left 4 Dead, has a ton of mods, and they've always been open and flexible, a ton of game modes. And even though it's an older game, you do get a lot of value out of it. So, you can shriek to the heavens and say, never again. But that's not exactly the case, really. Alright, I'm going to need some anti-tank stuff here. Trying to kind of get the moves back, get the instincts back at this game. And Toy Soldiers has always just been really cool, really fun. Perfect for what it wanted to be. Just the initial game and the Cold War sequel just really hit the nail on the head and just absolutely fun. So I want to kind of bop around with this for a little bit, get somewhere with it. Upgrade cost is $1,000 on that, so RGB. And this is the jungle level, which is right after the tutorial. Very simple, easy to work with. So hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good end of the summer. Yeah, take that. Just hope everything's going well on your end. 1,400 on that. Gonna try to keep it brisk. Try to keep it working. Gonna see what we can do with Dark Tide at some point. Like I said, the mighty Richard Velasquez has nothing but nice things to say about it. So, yeah, there we go, putzing around with it. Trying to kill the standard bearer here. Barrage! Here we go. There you go. One barrage in your general direction. Always useful. So, gonna upgrade the anti-tank where we can, and just fuss around. Otakon. Oh man, Otakon. Jeez. How do you define Otakon? Aside from song and dance number. Absolutely amazing. It's always incredibly fun. It's an ordeal. Granted, it's over 40,000 hardcore gaming and anime nerds. But they're there. They're enjoying the place. They love what they love. Can't knock them in any way, shape, or form. And they're just just absolutely amazing convention to go and work. Granted, load in and load out is never easy. Oh boy. The union guys. Oh jeez. We spent loadout between closing down the last day on the Sunday and finally, pulling the van out. All three of us packed into the front of the U-Haul. Oh boy. 4.75 hours between load in and load out, and the union guys apparently forgot who we were, and that we were there, and we kept having to flag people down. There was one super nice union driver, dude in the white hat. He got around to us again. We kind of had to flag him down, and just always pleasant. All right, trick of the trade here, folks. Always turn your artillery, just angle it, and you find yourself in a better position to murder what needs to be murdered. And as always helps the score when you go and you just you help and you assist, and it pays off. Anti-tank. Alright. I think we got him. Alright. Anti-tank gets upgraded. Feeling good about myself. Yeah, so just absolutely phenomenal convention. The big news is we're working on Otakon. This time next week we will be set up and have lost our minds. But it is myself, the mighty Stuart D. Washington, PhD, and Brandon Weiscarver. We're heading down south. I'm flying the mighty Brandon down from New York. We're bringing cheese. Our trick, and just as a way of saying thank you, quite honestly, to the staff that gives up a ton to make Otakon amazing. We bring them cheese. Our friend Tiff, she and her husband and their kids, they're over in Wisconsin. Amazing human beings. She's wonderful. Her husband's super cool. I haven't met the kids. The kids are pretty young. They were born fairly recently. So, haven't met the kids, but I've been told they're super nice. So anyway, they send Wisconsin cheese, like some amazing stuff, and we try to hook the vendor staff up and just say thank you. So when in doubt, cheese. So that's pretty much what's going on. Needs to be shot at. Blow up. There you go. So anyway, we tried to come up with Wisconsin's best because they're there and their con staff, their retail staff, they're going out of their minds and they're trying to pull everything up and try to make everyone happy. And just try to appreciate everything that's been done. And they set up an amazing area. It is one of the coolest conventions in the country. It is essentially a week of nerd Mardi Gras, and I love it. And as overwhelming as it can be, it's like, okay, it's 600 plus miles each way. It's you get in, you're working with a truck or a van, you're doing everything you can. You've got a multi-hour build. You've got to get over to the Airbnb. You got to do everything that can be done, and you're always going to face something. There's always going to be some obstacle. Just what they do with that convention is absolutely amazing. And, you know, I can't help but love it. God, this is going to age me terribly. I first went around like 2001, 2002. Went down with some friends and had a great time with it. But, you know, I never thought I'd be selling there. I never thought I'd be back. But this is our 4th year in a row back, thanks to the amazing Tracy Bell, who is arguably the nicest, one of the nicest human beings you will ever meet, period. We're going back, and I think we're going to do well, and just I think we're really going to enjoy what's there. So we drive down to Atlanta next Tuesday around 6 or 7 a.m. It's wheels up, and we start driving. And, you know, Stuart and I, we trade off into our shifts. And, you know, obviously it's moderately terrifying, even if you've done it before. You know, it's like the Samwise Gamgee thing, you know? I'm like, this is the farthest I'll have stepped out of my house. Here we go. If I take one more step, yeah, okay, leave, introvert. But just amazing, amazing show. You know, it's a haul, it's a chore, it's everything. But, you know, once you get going, it's impossible not to have a good time with what you're doing. We're bringing some Dinocast units down with us. I've been stressing my one 3D printer to the nth degree, and arguably making its life something close to indentured servitude. It's kind of like my printer is on the wheel of pain from Conan the Barbarian. Alright, what can be upgraded? It's been upgraded. Yeah, there we go. That should do it. Woohoo! Anyway, no, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, as it always is. Am I terrified? Yeah. Am I looking forward to it? Absolutely. I think it's one of those things that, you know, once you're through the first hour driving and you're committed to, we're going down there. Oh dear Lord. You know, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be okay. Or that's my hope. All right, launch that wave. Launches that shave off 2 seconds there. That wasn't great. All right, re-angle the artillery piece and watch things blow up. I always loved this game, but I could never really get into the hardcore modes of it, you know, where it's like, I'll beat up on myself if I let anything through, you know, it's like, I'm obviously not happy when that happens, but, honestly, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, where my units die instantly, and, you know, I constantly have to update them. There we go. Woohoo! Okay. I can live with that. No, I don't want to quit. So anyway, hope you're having a good day. And just hope everything's all right on your end, you know? Oh boy, what else am I gonna say now? Here in DC, nobody's happy about the National Guard stuff. I try to keep politics out of it, but oh mama. If you wanted a scenario in which nobody's really happy with anything, alright, let's put some anti-aircraft up just in case. And let's learn how to use the helicopters once again. Alright, blow stuff up. Yeah. Nobody's happy, and actually they arrested the sandwich guy. A friend of mine actually lives in that building, so I'm not thrilled about that. Like, maybe they had charges, maybe they had other reasons, maybe it was through a sandwich and they didn't like it. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep politics out of it. Just have fun with what we're doing. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, take care of each other out there. Also, helicopter gunship. Please nifty. Alright, let's go grab that other battery. My old instincts are somewhat coming back, but you never ever get your mad 12-year-old gaming skills back. Adulthood keeps getting in the way. I don't quite know where they are, so... The Horseshibi. With this game, you gotta find a nice blend between mortars and machine guns, but you know, it's customizable. You know, you can find your own approach on it, which I always found to be pretty neat about it. I always feel silly, you know, buying a ton of anti-aircraft at the beginning of each round, but, you know, it comes in handy. Anywho, grab Z-3 and launch the new one. What else? Oh boy. It's my birthday next Saturday. I'll be down at Dragon Con. Turning 48 soon. That's a little scary. But you know what? I can't really bitch too much. I'm taking some good classes this semester and going to some good places. And I love the family, I love my friends, and doing alright. Alright, when in doubt, upgrade everything. Always upgrade your back piece. Upgrade your final lines of defense, because you never know when you're going to feel silly, and well, you never know when you've absolutely let something kind of slip. It's one of those things where you think you're having the most perfect round in the world, but there's always just like one that's going to slip through or about to slip through, and it's like, why? How did I forget to upgrade that thing? You know, just makes sense later. game's a classic. I'm not sure how much it sells for, but you know what? Honestly, 10, 20 bucks. You know, either via Xbox Live or used or eBay or what have you. Can't really knock it. He's a good game. What else? Alright. The girls. Alexis is down in Florida. She's taking care of her mom. She's doing well. She just sorted out a RAM discrepancy on the PC that we put together. Micro Center is usually absolutely amazing with what they do, but unfortunately, some of the RAM was moderately pooched. It was just leading to some really, really weird errors on her system, and she was going half nuts with it, and no one would be happy with that either. RAM is always the weird thing on any computer, you know, especially a PC build. I've been a diehard Apple fan for forever, and usually I think that spoils me in the sense that, you know, I'm learning to love building stuff, but usually when you buy a new Mac, they test it and test it and test it, and the RAM's usually fine. Or, you know, these days it's more or less soldered into the logic board, and they test that pretty extensively, and that's fine too. Unfortunately, you know, we went to Micro Center to grab the parts, and you know, the guy grabbed the full kit that the mighty Nate Stevens had laid out. But unfortunately, the RAM was somewhat skewed. So, you know, just the weird thing about RAM errors is it gives you the most random, almost impossible to recreate errors, and you know, you think everything's going fine, and just some kind of addressing thing goes wrong. It's entirely sporadic, and you know, with that, she went to Micro Center 2 days ago. You know, they diagnosed it. They, you know, it was their parts. They swapped out the RAM chips, and it looks like everything's fine. So she is getting up and going with Unreal Engine and some designs that she's been wanting to do. She's taking care of her mom, who's you know, I'm sure the best. She's a super nice lady. So obviously, my mom, you know, years ago, and never an easy ride for anyone. But you know, if the caretaker sort of has something that they cannot protect themselves with, then it goes a bit better. So she's dealing with a lot of medication and nausea. Hopefully for the best. Treatments are getting better, but no one's ever like, hey, cancer, alright. Helicopter goes curveball. Titanium 2. Nice chunk of money to spend, upgrade everything, and try not to worry. So, she is down in Florida. She is kicking butt with her machine. She was installing Unreal Engine last night. A lot of relief on her end. She didn't know if it was going to be the logic board or, you know, it's her first ever PC build. And, yeah! Here we go. Alright. I'm not going to complain. If I had a higher difficulty level, it might have been gold. Not going to go nuts over it. What else? is back in Munich. She is, let's see, nothing too bad is blowing up in my face. She is getting ready to move to the U.S. in about a month, a little less than a month. She found a place to live in up in New York. Alright, this is where things get more difficult. Yeah, my tank can take just about anything. So she's doing good. She's with her dude. She's with her dog and her family and her friends. You know, do I miss the dynamic duo? Yes, of course, absolutely. But you know what? It's life. It's just part of living, and it's part of growing up and seeing your friends graduate and seeing them move on and seeing them there when you can. So it's good. Going to earn money and not let you wankers get through. Earn money is one thing, but good Lord invented artillery for reasons. Okay, things are in fairly decent order. This was always interesting. You know, just they always change the geometry of the map that you're fighting on, and it's always been an interesting challenge where you kind of have to look over everything, and it's like, all right, what, you know, how do we go about this? What's there? Which I've always loved about these games. So anyway, the mighty Loretta is looking to move to New York, and you know, be a journalist and a writer and an actress and the whole schmear. So I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. And she was asking about, you know, renting a van. And is it bloody terrifying driving into New York in a van? Yes. Am I going to be doing that in October for New York Comic Con? Yes. Am I absolutely scared of it? Yep. There we go. Blow up. Could be doing better. Alright, leave the tank for what it is. I feel a little silly, you know, upgrading anti-aircraft now, but I'm going to need it later, and that's all there is to it. Right there. To have too many to let's see. But honestly, I think she'll be in good shape. You know, she met my aunt, the amazing Marty Barlick. You know, I think Marty can point her in a few directions, help her get started. I think she'll be good. You know, either love or hate New York. Sometimes it loves and hates you back. Probably should have been an anti-tank nest. quick with it. You know, just do the best you can with it. But you know, take control things, get back to your units. Maybe be away from the tank or the jet or whatever for so long. And it's like, you must have no interest in it. Upgrade the artillery soonish. Alright. Mortars are always, I don't know, you love them or hate them in this game. It's like you want precision, but you also want some very effect stuff going on. So. This thing explodes. Harsh. So yeah, if you're headed to DragonCon, you know, we can be found on the 3rd floor of the America Smart building, the vendor section. I think it's building 2. We'll be at 3518, 3510. Sorry, 3518, 3520. That's how numbers work. And we're going to do the best we can to sling geeky wares and give you terrible advice. And I'm on yards. Do I sometimes feel being weird down there with Atlanta? Yeah, a little bit. But it's one of those things where I absolutely love doing it, and nice for anything better. There we go. Yeah, take that, Russians. Shooting all of them down. Might just work. Right. batteries were regenerated. When in doubt, upgrade things. It's not always fun, or as fun as you want it to be, but sometimes you go take control of the tank. That final wave. Trying to shoot down fighter jets with the tank is a stupid idea. That's fun. Just the phenomenal amount of damage I'm doing. Sell everything out of the existing there we go. Alright, I think that's better. Woo. But yeah, let's see. So the new semester begins soon. I'm taking an interviewing class as well as a visual storytelling class, once again with the mighty Josh Davidsburg. There we go. And definitely looking forward to that. As for this stream, I'm gonna try to collaborate more and try to bring friends in, get their takes on everything, and just try to make the most of it. Play another level or two, then I gotta pretend to be an adult. get some work done today. Sold my housemate's bike per his request. Good price on eBay, but unfortunately, with oh boy, they it's not pretty. They set up this. They're like, oh hey, we recognize what the bike is, and so they generated a $63 shipping label with the USPS, which was entirely stupid. And within that $63 shipping label, it wasn't nearly enough to. USPS doesn't ship bikes. It's nothing that's like over 50 inches, 57 inches, almost 5 feet long, and wrapped up. So wrapped everything up. Took it to my local post office, and they're like, "Oh, we can't ship anything that big." So that was a mess. And then they're like, "Oh, take it to FedEx," and FedEx ended up charging an arm and a leg on it. Nothing good on that front. There we go. So, arm and a leg out the door, and I spent a fair amount this morning with the old customer service phone call. Just honestly, just trying to make sense of this. I don't even know what to tell you. So it weren't pretty, I'll tell you that. And honestly, this was the first bike I've ever tried to sell over eBay. And you know, it was a Trek something, very nice carbon fiber thing. And so, you know, I'm entering in the information, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we know exactly what this is, and the weight, and the specs, and the dimensions on it." And then they were like, "Hey, let's so here's your shipping label. Everything's gonna be great and/or splendid." And then they, you know, just it's nothing that USPS themselves can actually ship. At which point, you're sort of saying to yourself, "Wait, this is eBay. They deal with USPS all the time. You know, why is this guesswork, or you know, why isn't this covered to some degree?" So, unholy mess there. And for the most part, yeah, I like the U.S. Postal Service. You know, they try to do a good job, and they usually do a pretty good job with what's there. You know, it's even if they're never terribly well led at times. Like I said, I'm trying to keep politics out of it. So the bike's out the door. It's going to a dude in Brooklyn, and you know, good luck to him. You know, bike's always the best way to get around in New York. Go back and forth with the guy, you know, and I updated him on shipping, and he seemed like a nice guy. So I'm wishing him the best, but you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, for the love of God, you know. Charged. I don't even know what to say. On the other hand, I think it's out for delivery right now, so they got it up from Maryland to New York very, very quickly. So that was good. hand, you throw up an eBay auction with, you know, something that says this is going to cost $400 to ship. Obviously, people hear you're sharply away from them. It's like, okay, that's an arm, a leg, and a spleen. How dare that tank shoot me in my hand? Take care of the air wing here. In doubt, more anti-aircraft. Yeah, I definitely do have a soft spot in my heart for the original toy soldiers, but I think this... Oh, there was something that was a bit dark and gritty and... This I think takes sort of a softer, more complicated approach, you know, because I mean, if you can't laugh at the movies I've made, what can you laugh at? Your sense of humor has been surgically removed from your body. When in doubt, upgrade many things. Let's see what we can do here. change this into something that's not a machine gun. When in doubt, shoot the Russians. I can say that because I'm Polish.
Load it!
There you go. Alright. Do one more level after this. And I will surrender to adulthood. Here we go. Where's maturity? Well, if I need it, it's gonna be there. It's a tank. Alright. Okay, who else needs shooting? Blowing up. Alright. Okay, I'm glad Thought I invested in an anti-aircraft. Where things are blowing up. There we go. Alright. Sell that. Turn that into a nice chunk of artillery. Well, there we go, folks. I think that's how you do it. I could be wrong. Squeaky tank in development. Woohoo! Let's see what we got. Time to get French. France will never surrender, except maybe. This is for those who love the romance. Okay, let's see what we can do here. God, I love the helicopter. This will not abide. You've seen me at my worst here. This with some shame in my heart. Alright. Invest in some machine gun nests, invest in anti-aircraft, and do the rest yourself. At least for the very opening chunk of this salvo. Did I restart on the stream? Yep. Am I ashamed? Probably not. Alright, folks. Invest in anti-aircraft. Huh. This is how dumb I am. Shoot missiles, thank you. When in doubt, push outwards, folks. Let's see, that helicopter is not functional quite yet. Murder what I can. Yeah, it's... Ooh, that was good. Yeah, take that apart. Here we go. Take that against some bystanders' cars. Let's mix it up a little. Get smart. Some mortars. Machine guns. What else? Tales of the 3D printer. Things continue. What else? Here's the really good news. I finally learned a couple things the very hard way. The powers of cold pulls and the extrusion motor on my Bamboo Labs UMP. Oh man. Cold pull. It's a miracle. It's like, give me the old-time religion, it's so good. No, it's just intensely good. It's amazing how effective it is. It's much better an alternative it is as opposed to, I'm gonna, sit in my underwear at 3 in the morning and use a bunch of needles and strip a glove or two and try to get these blocks of film out. Hopefully that's all the difference. Again, look it up. Very, very easy to do. Try to get that battery. Move myself here. Take that luxurious housing. In the world. I've been able to make some interesting desk transference. It's sort of right now that's oh, it looks different. Let me give it that. Be anti-tank. Let's be upgraded. He's good. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna use 3D print. It's trial by fire. Trial by burns. Get the setting right is sincerely awesome. machine gun. Combos are your friends. Not just the delicious cheese snacks. Chunks of pretzel. It's $40. That's good. When in doubt, upgrade all the things. Get it. So can I use my nifty McCopter? I think I can. Works out well. I only have to restart once. Oh, take out the boom. Maybe I can get my battery in time. Very nice. Okay. Yes. I'd love to be able to blow the battery, but that's just not. Let's upgrade all the things we can. Battery! Yeah. out while there's just an empty little here. Alright. You can't sneeze at 4DX download, folks. Just checking around, seeing if I forgot anything. Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe in trees. That way. Let's see what we got here. Alright, check around, see what needs to be repaired. Do the best you can. chance in hell I was making that. Upgrade. Next level pimping. Goats.
B-52 overhead.
Well, this will look good.
Strategic bomber inbound.
It could have been aimed better. Something that's interesting. Between the original game, they always told you how many units were left of the wave, which was handy. Here, it's a little more, I guess, with these. Maybe that's a bit more something that you may have no idea as to exactly what you're fighting. How many people that are left on 9 yards? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's me. I may pick this up another time. I've been Chris Barlick. This has been the Mistakes Were Made Dinocast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Like it, subscribe it, all 9 yards. Smash that like button. Or not. Anyway, take care of yourselves, take care of each other out there. Hope you have a good rest of the summer. I'll be back Monday. That's about it. Excelsior! Have a good one.